CS:GO 2 is out. There is a lot of positivity and a lot of negativity. Let's find out more about it and we'll go from there.
CS2 replaced CSGO on Steam and became available to everyone as essentially a free franchise-altering updates to the existing iteration of Counter-Strike, which means it is going to start being subjected to a higher level of scrutiny. Valve were the ones who said summer 2023. That was their call. That was their decision. And to be fair, they lived up to it. Well, I mean, like, they missed it by a few days, but, you know, close enough. So let's talk about it. The nitty-gritty. What's good, what's bad, and what has to get better. For starters, what is CS2? Well, it's a patch. A very, very big patch. They literally took Global Offensive, ported it over to Source 2, redid the maps to varying degrees, and overhauled the basic functionality of the utility. So when we talk about whether...
But it's free, so I don't really care that it's it's not a brand new game. And the other thing are, people are upset that they didn't leave CSGO alone. The people were like, you should have the original and the second one. Not sure about that, but it's free, so, it's fine.
CS2 is good or bad. What we're really talking about is whether it feels and functions better or worse than Global Offensive, a game that Valve tuned to perfection over the course of a decade. And right now, CS2 feels worse than CSGO, but it functions better. I'll explain what I mean by that. Let's start with what is basically the biggest change that CS2 brings to the table: the utility. In CS2, nades are both dynamic and responsive.
That looks
Mollies
good.
and HEs don't make it harder to see.
Fire looks so
Smoke
nice.
grenades are more well-defined and expand to fill the space they're thrown into. Bullets help carve spaces in smokes, and HEs temporarily dispel them. Valve's goal was to add strategic depth. And while it's hard to definitively say whether they succeeded since we haven't seen any pro play yet, I can tell you that from my experience playing the game, the utility feels so much better to use.
That's the best smoke I've ever seen in any game.
CS2 is fantastic and bound to shake things up for the better. On that front, Valve outdid themselves and the competition. But of equal importance is the fact that it fixed all of the super busted spaghetti code nonsense surrounding utility that over the years came to define the meta in CSGO. The best example of which are one-ways. Yes, they got rid of one-ways.
Oh no.
Basically, in CSGO, players learned that throwing utility in the right spots would let you create scenarios where you could see your opponents, but they couldn't see you. It basically meant that at even a medium level of play, outcomes hinged on completely unfair gunfights. Now, are there still ways to abuse obfuscated sightlines using smokes in CS2? Yes, and we're already seeing some of them come to light. But there are way fewer of them, and the sightlines they create are way less broken. One of the reasons for this is that CS2 isn't trying to look as realistic as CSGO. CS2 is a way, way brighter, clearer, and smoother looking game than Global Offensive ever was.
I love how it looks. It looks beautiful. I personally don't like the kiddish look of games. I'm not sure what to call it, but I do like bright, colorful, blue sky games. I want to feel, looking at the blue sky always puts a smile on my face. And if I want to feel good because I'm trying to escape from something or just want to, have a good time, I don't know why. Brighter colors in the game just make me feel better. I love it. I think it's a great change.
Textures have been streamlined and the dingy ass corners that litter every map have been illuminated.
I mean, look how
you can make fun of the Valorante child game aesthetic all you want. One of the best things about CS2 is how easy it is to see people, and the fact that it allows aim to be the determining factor in the vast majority of gunfights. To me, this is the foundation that will eventually turn CS2 into a masterpiece. Every aesthetic and mechanical decision was made to make CS2 a fairer version of CSGO. No more one-ways, no more hard-to-see BS. It's just
beautiful.
Real, honest-to-God Counter-Strike. Two players, their guns, may the best aimer win. But Valve didn't stop there. They took all of the ancillary stuff, maps, weapon skins, weapon sounds, and either overhauled them, streamlined them, or simply made them prettier. CS2 is somehow simultaneously CSGO on steroids and with the sharp edges shaved off. It is the Counter-Strike that we as a community both wanted and needed. The new player experience, for instance, has been greatly improved. Not only have Valve added a real tutorial called Training Day, they've also streamlined jump throws so new players don't have to do a bunch of Googling and console command nonsense before loading into a game. Valve have also switched the game to 24-round maps, down from the 30 rounds of CSGO. So far, it actually feels pretty good, leading to snappier, faster-paced games. But there are some problems. Mostly that Valve haven't made any economic adjustments to offset the shorter match structure. Loss bonuses will almost certainly need an adjustment, especially as pros begin to explore this new format. All in all, Counter-Strike 2 is a
Does everything transfer? People spend a lot of money in this game. I wonder, all those skins, did they transfer?
remarkable achievement. It looks better, functions better, and is built on a more rugged, sophisticated infrastructure. But it doesn't feel better, at least not yet.
What do they mean by feel?
All right, for months, those with access to the limited beta have been complaining about how awful CS2 feels. The movement, the spraying, the hit reg, tick rate, netcode, all of it. And rightfully so. The game has, to varying degrees, felt like, in a word, dog shit.
Wow, that's harsh.
What?
There are a lot of problems. The guns aren't as precise as they should be, the movement isn't as sharp, spraying sometimes results in you just not hitting anything at all.
Wow. Holy crap, he's on target.
What is this spray?
It's hard to quantify, but trust me, when you play it, you'll feel it. It's loose and imprecise, and in a game like this, that's a huge problem.
Wow. Oh my god,
Please just die.
He
Please just
reset.
die. I hate
He
the
let go of the
spraying.
trigger
I hate
and
the spraying
refired.
so
That should have
much.
locked
now,
on.
Valve have made some substantial changes already, and the game does feel a lot better than it used to.
It's like they designed it and removed ADS, and it removed hipfire, and you have to use ADS. That sucks.
In fact, this past week, when they launched the game officially, they made further adjustments. Did those adjustments make a difference? Well, it depends on who you ask. Personally, I think it feels sort of worse, but a lot of other people seem to think it feels better.
That's not good.
Either way, the point is that Valve is trying to fix this problem.
I hope
the
they do.
important thing to understand is that CS2 categorically does not feel as good as CSGO did on 128.6 servers. But it took Valve over 10 years to get CSGO into that place. Which leads me to the point of this
We'll be
review.
fine, I'm sure.
CS2 doesn't feel as good yet. It will feel better than CSGO eventually. CSGO is, and let's just be honest here, the most important, influential, and yes, best shooter ever made. It just is. The game itself was a disaster. There were countless things about it that drove us crazy, but what it did for TAC FPS can never be replicated. And that game, the undisputed GOAT, was a hot mess when Valve first put it into beta. But over time, it got better. Much.
I'm not sure how I feel about companies putting... It's happened a lot more in the last 15 years. Putting out games that are not finished and just trying to finish it during the initial game process. It's like they're not going to be able to keep their completion date, so they throw the testing on us, and we end up testing it as customers, and then they give us hot fixes instead of all of that being done before they release the game. But you know, it's the norm, and I don't like it, but it is the norm.
Better. Valve turned around a game that a lot of people didn't think was salvageable. It's going to take time for CS2 to become what it needs to be. And unfortunately, I can't sit here and whisper sweet nothings about how it'll take no time at all. I don't know how long it'll take. What I do know is that the issues that people have with CS2 aren't design related the way they were with Source and even early CSGO. Valve have learned a lot since then and know what it takes to produce a first-rate Counter-Strike, and presumably how to do it faster than before. So if you're sitting there wondering what the verdict is on CS2, it's great, but with a big asterisk.
Yeah, they can't play it right now.
I think you should be playing it now. Not that you have a choice, but even if you did have a choice, you should be playing it because you want to be on the ground floor of the next best shooter ever made.
While it's bad.
Thanks for watching.
You want to be on the ground floor of the next best shooter ever made while it's bad. I mean, yeah. I just don't like how companies have made it normal to release games for us, consumers, to test. And sometimes we're so excited for a new game to come out. We're just been waiting for months, weeks. We're counting the weeks down, and then it comes out, and then you can't go online for 3 days, or the campaign doesn't load, and you only get tutorial, and you wanted to play that night. You have a party set up with your friends, and it just removes all the wonderful, exciting feelings you had in your chest with just negativity. And then, yeah, 2 days later, 3 days later, whatever, it starts working. But that point, your excitement has turned into something stained with hate. You know what I mean? Or with, you're just upset. It just sucks. Yeah, yeah, yeah.